Be sure to give me a thumbs up. Hey, good morning. How's everyone doing this morning? Today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to do this daisy headband. This headband right here is for a child size 3 years old. But for today's tutorial, I'm going to show you for a newborn. That's the pattern I'm going to be using. I found on the internet that it states that a normal size head, which, you know, forgive me for saying it like that, the child's head would be a circumference of 13 3/4 inch. I also discovered that if you chain 5 finished chains, like say for a half double crochet, it equals 1 inch. So if you want to keep that in mind, you can add that to your extended the amount on you know, how big you need for the child or adult that you're making it for. Alright, we'll go ahead and we'll start. Okay, in today's tutorial we'll need a hook size 3.75 millimeter. We'll need a measuring tape so we can measure the child or adult's head. We also will need, in this illustration, it's mainstay basic yarn. I have simply bought this over at Walmart. This color is gold, but you can use whatever color you choose. I also have some scrap yarn of white, which is what I'm going to be using for the actual flower itself. Okay, what we'll simply need to do is do a slip knot on the hook. Once we get that slip knot on the hook, we will then do a total of chain 58 total. Okay, again, keep in mind, I know I showed you the headband for a size 3-year-old, but we are now doing a newborn size headband, and that's why we're having a total of chain 58. I don't mean to be too confusing, but just keep in mind it's chain 58. Okay, once we get that chain 58, we'll go ahead and we'll connect the two ends together by simply doing a slip stitch. Okay, once we get that connect together, we will then go ahead and do a chain 2. Because our first round will be half double crochet. And we'll do a half double crochet in each of the stitches. Starting in the next stitch, we'll simply pull up the loop. There'll be 3 loops on the hook. Pull through all 3 loops, and that is your half double crochet. Okay, I will see you at the end of the round. Okay, we're now at the end of the round. We'll go ahead and do a slip stitch in that final, or shall I say in the first half double crochet. We will then do a chain 1. Now we're going to learn my new stitch. It's called the Brownie Stitch. We'll go ahead and go into the next stitch and do a single crochet and a triple crochet in the stitch after that. For those of you that are not familiar with these stitches, for anyone that's new to this, a single crochet is you simply go into the stitch, pull up a loop, you'll have 2 loops on the hook, wrap over, pull through both loops. That is your single crochet. Okay, our next stitch is going to be a triple crochet, so we'll simply wrap around twice, go into the stitch, pull up the loop. You will then have 4 loops on your hook, wrap over, pull through the first 2, wrap over, pull through the next 2, wrap over, and pull through the last 2. Now that is your triple crochet. The next stitch will be a single, and then we'll do a triple in the next. We'll continue this pattern throughout the rest of the round. Okay, our last stitch will be a single crochet. We'll go ahead and pull up the loop, yarn over, and pull through both loops. Okay, we will then go ahead and go into the first stitch that we did in this round and simply do a slip stitch. Next we will go ahead and do a chain 2. Now we will repeat the process of round 1, which was a half double crochet in each of these stitches. Okay, I just wanted to hop on here really quick and show you the nice little texture that we got going here, which I think is absolutely cool. I love textured stitches, and when you do that triple crochet and then a smaller stitch of a single crochet, it tends to make this pop out, which is a really cute way of doing things. Again, this is called a Brownie Stitch, which I will share on this tutorial, the YouTube video that I have on showing you how to do it if it's, you know, a little bit confusing. Okay, now that we're at the end, we'll go ahead and do a half double crochet in that last stitch. Then we will simply join the 2 rounds by simply doing a slip stitch into that first half double crochet. Okay, next we'll do a repeat of round 2, which simply do a chain 1 and then go into the next stitch by doing a single crochet and then a triple crochet into the next stitch. And we'll continue this until the end of the round. Now, I don't know about you, but I absolutely love the way this is going to look at. At the end, we'll show you how to do the daisy itself. I just hope and pray that you'll enjoy doing that. It's also another simple to-do add-on to the headband. If you don't want to add to it, you don't have to. It just gives it a little extra little flair for it, which is, you know, of course, another nice touch. I mean, just the headband alone would be a good, you know, way of showing things. Once we finish on round 4, we will simply do a slip stitch into that first single crochet. Now, as you can see here, we got a really nice pattern going. Gives it a lot of texture. Now, you could either stop here or you can do 2 more rounds. And what we'll do is we'll repeat round 1 in the next row, which is a half double crochet in each of the stitches, and then in the last row we'll repeat round 2, which is the single crochet and triple crochet. Okay, once we get done with that round, we'll go ahead and do a single crochet and triple crochet in the following stitch. And then at the end of the round, we'll simply do a slip stitch into the first single crochet, and then we will weave in our ends. Okay, once we weave in those ends, I just wanted to show you our final product. It is a 2 1/4 inch span across. So if you don't, like I say, if you don't want it to be this wide, you want it to be smaller, just simply either do 1 less row or 2, but I wouldn't do any less than that. This way it's nice and wide to go around the head. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to do this daisy. What we'll simply need to do is go ahead and do a slip knot on the hook. Once we get that slip knot on the hook, we will then do a chain 2. After the chain 2, we will go into the second chain and do a total of 8 single crochets. After the 8 single crochets, we will then do a slip stitch into the first single crochet. Okay, after that slip stitch into the first single crochet, we will then do a chain 1. Next, we will go into each of the stitches by doing 2 single crochets in each. Okay, down to the last 2, and after we do the last 2 here, we will simply do a slip stitch into the top of the first single crochet. Next, we will go ahead and do a chain 6, and after that we will go back down the chain by doing a single crochet in each of the chains, which total of 5 single crochets. Then after that we will do a slip stitch into the next stitch. We will then repeat the process by doing a chain 6 and then doing a single crochet back down the chains. We will do this a total of 8 times, which this will be 8 petals. Okay, once you do each of the petals, we will simply just pull them straight out, because depending on how tense you crochet, they will roll up. So don't worry about it. Just simply roll, unroll them and try to lay them flat. If need be, take a book or something like that nature where it's a little bit heavy to flatten it out. Okay, go ahead and set it aside. And next we'll go ahead and take our other yarn, our other color, which in this case will be a white. Once we do that, we'll go ahead and take one of our fingers and simply leave a little bit of a tail and then wrap around it 35 times. Once we wrap it 35 times, we'll go ahead and leave a little bit of a tail. Next, we will go ahead and take the yarn and try to simply, slowly remove the yarn off of your finger. And at the same token, try to tuck in that yarn, so this way we can make a knot. All I do is just simply pull it through like this to where I can just take the other end and tuck it in there. You do however you're able to do, as long as you're able to make a knot. Okay, once that knot is complete, you simply take a pair of sharp scissors and go right down the middle and simply just cut. Okay, on my thing that I had done here, I simply tried to cut it as close as I could, because I wanted to give that little effect where it kind of like a pom-pom kind of texture. At the same token, it just gives it a 3D effect. So you do however you're able to do. Just simply gather it all together and then just cut. Just make sure you don't cut the piece that you had used to tighten it, you know what I mean, where you had put a knot on. Then you just take your yarn needle and simply sew it on to the center of the flower itself. Then once you have that sewed on, you then go ahead and take your scissors and just trim it up to your preference. Again, keep in mind to not cut your petals, and not only that, to not cut too close where you're going to wind up cutting it all together, you know what I mean, away. Just simply fluff it up, and then once you're done fluffing it up, you then sew it on to the headband. Just simply place it any which direction that you choose to. And voila, there you have it. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this. Please subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you for the support, and you have a good day.